So I think self-improvement doesn't have to be complicated. You just start from little habits, but those habits are going to cover a lot of your self-development journey. So in this video, I'm going to give you 7 best tips of mine to change your life. These are high-class tips, alright? Whether you are a beginner for self-improvement or like you have been there for years, it's going to be really helpful for you. So let me start from number 1, change inside out. So you need to know that change starts from the inside, alright? So there is a famous quote that goes, if an egg is broken from outside, life ends. But if it is broken from the inside, life begins. So I want your self-improvement journey to start from within, from your inside. You gotta change your inner view first before you expect your outer world to change. And the first step that I want you to take is to change your self-image. Your self-image is basically how you view yourself internally, and it has the blueprint of your reality, which means the way you perceive yourself is gonna dictate the way the outside world responds to you. By the way, this is called the mirror principle. Everything is the reflection of who you are, and if you wanna change what you're seeing in the mirror, what do? You change yourself, right? So now we know our self-image is so powerful. How can we change it? How can we change the way we perceive ourselves to change the outside world, our reality? Easy. You start by writing your ideal self. What type of person do you want to become? What is your ideal self? What is that model? Write it down. How that person acts, what that person does on a day-to-day basis. And after you write this model, every single day for 20 to 30 minutes, maybe in the morning or at night, visualize being that person. This is what makes the difference, alright? Being that person when you're visualizing it. Hear me out. Visualizing about that person and visualizing being that person are very different things. If you want to see results, you want to visualize yourself being that person. You really want to embody that character that you give for yourself. You literally become that person when you close your eyes. In your imaginative eyes, you are that person. And you know what's going to happen? Before you even know it, the outside world starts to change. Because you're going to change. The way you act is going to change. The way you think is going to change. That is the mirror principle. Everything is your reflection. What you see in your imagination becomes your reality. So if you want to change your life, start from within. Number 2, start working on your dream. Literally, it's time to transform yourself from having a dream to actually start doing something about it. There's a huge difference when you start to improve yourself with a goal and without a goal. Improving yourself is yes, for yourself, for your own knowledge, to increase your confidence, the way you perceive yourself. Changing those aspects of your life without having a goal and without having that, something that you can strive for is just meaningless. I mean, growing as a person requires you to grow with your purpose, with your life ambition. So have goals, work towards them, and you're gonna see how your life's gonna change. Especially when you start getting the money, when you start, having that revenue, it's gonna be really enjoyable. Alright, we're on number 3. Stop overthinking and start doing. Overthinking about things, overanalyzing them, planning for days, it is just a waste of time. You need to be fast to execute, alright? When you have a thought, just be fast to execute it. Be fast to take action about it. You need to do what you can do at this moment. So whenever you start overthinking, I want you to ask one question, alright? What can I do about this right now? What action can I take at this moment? And then just do it. Don't second guess it. Don't even think about it. Hear me out. After you make the decision, you're gonna be right or wrong. But you cannot have no as an answer, alright? So stop overthinking and start doing. Next up which is number 4, learn to deal with your emotions in the right way. Okay, you see, a lot of times we respond to our emotions in some ways. Maybe we fight with them, we hide from them, we suppress them, we repress them. But the best way is to reflect on them. You might say, what do you mean by reflecting on them, right? Reflecting means asking yourself questions about that emotion. For example, let's say you're feeling bad. You're not feeling like yourself. What do you do at that time? For me, for a lot of times, it have been like just hiding under my phone, binge eating. But that is not a great way to deal with emotions, alright? So what can you do? Reflect on them. Ask questions. Why am I feeling this way? What made me feel this way? What happened that made me think this way and created this emotion? Start going deeper and deeper with your questions, and you're gonna get that trigger. Because there's always a trigger, okay? So there's a formula that I've learned from the book How to Master Your Emotions. And it says first, there's a trigger. There's an event that happened, right? Maybe you think about something or someone said something about you, and then you interpret that event. You translate that event into your own way of thinking, and then you repeatedly think about that thought, and then you form a negative emotion. So by reflecting on your emotions, you're gonna get that trigger. You're gonna get to the first point why you start thinking that way. Now you either let it go or let it be. When you let it go, you're just ignoring it. And when you let it be, doesn't mean you're ruled by it, but you're just observing it with as much detachment as possible. By the way, if you want to learn more about dealing with the emotions, I've made some videos about them. Click here. So the point is, instead of dealing with your emotions by suppressing them, fighting with them, just observe them. Let them be. Don't freak out. Don't do bad stuff because of them. Last one for today. Learn to take control of your life. Even those things that we think that we don't have any control over them. Do whatever it takes. If you do whatever it takes, you're literally in control. Have you ever tried giving your best, giving 100% what you can? It is the most liberating feelings of all time. So take control of your life. You are in control more than you can ever imagine. Take charge.